All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy Saturday night to everybody. And yeah, let's get going. Let's get going. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Scams. This is the live stream show that we do on Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. I am once again joined by my good friend, Avery. How you doing this evening?
I'm good. I'm fine.
You're such an idiot. I love it. Oh, I hope you all are having a wonderful weekend. It's not too bad around here, but let's check in and see who all has joined us. Clark's here. Clark, welcome to the show. Clark says, "Hey, Drew, happy Saturday night." Manuel, of course, is here. Fantastic to see you, my friend. He says, "Good evening, my good friend." Drew, happy Saturday night. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Clark says hi to Manuel. Darlene's here. Darlene says, "Made it here on time." Hey, me too. Me too. I only started a couple minutes late because I was chit chatting with Avery. But yeah, it's always good to be on time, or at least try to be. Manuel says, "Hello to Clark. Good evening." Um, Clark says, "Hello to Darlene." Clark says, "Hey to Avery." Manuel says hello to Avery. Happy Saturday night. And
What's up? What's up?
Darlene says hi to Andrew and Drew. Oh, Penny's here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Penny. Welcome to the show. I hope you guys are having a fantastic weekend. Boy, have I gotten some doozy calls this past week. I've gotten so many really good ones that I am well ahead of myself. Usually I try to be a day ahead with my videos. Right now, I have videos scheduled all the way out through next Thursday, through the 23rd. And I'm not going to stop trying to get ahead. But here's the bad part about doing that. I originally had videos scheduled all the way through the 22nd, through Wednesday. And then yesterday, I got a call that was just so devious, so evil, so outright despicable that I had to make it into a video and had to share it sooner rather than later. And that's the one that goes up tomorrow on the 19th. I'll tell you guys a little bit about it, just give you an idea. It's one of the electric provider scammers where they call and they say they're calling you from your electric company and they're offering you money back in a discount. And I'm just playing along because I've gotten this call before. It's not a big deal, and I'm just playing around. And the despicable part is, he confirms, "Are you a senior citizen?" I go, "Yes." He says, "Okay, good, because we're reaching out to all senior citizens, and we have thousands of them to reach out to, and we're offering them this money back. All we need you to do is get out your checkbook and verify the information on your check." And he said, "Is your name at the top of the check?" And I said, "Well, yes." He never even asked me my name, which is really weird. He says, "Do you have a middle initial there?" And I said, "Well, yeah, no, I didn't have a middle initial on my checkbook." And he goes through and he says, "Okay, what about the numbers at the very bottom?" And he wants to verify the routing number and account number, where a lot of people don't realize that that's all people need to get info to access and debit from your bank account, from your checking account, is the right routing number and the right account number. And he kept saying, "All I'm doing is verifying it. All I'm doing is verifying it." And I'm like, well, then if you're going to verify it, give me what you've got. And he asked me, "What's the bank?" And I said, "Bank of America." And he said, "Well, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'll go ahead and give you the number, the beginning number." So he verified the routing number, which, guys, if you Google Bank of America routing number, you can easily find it. So that's not a hidden number. That's not a secret number. That's a very common, easy to access number. But the way he was telling it was like, "Hey, I'm going to verify this information. You just verify the rest. You just give me your account number." And I'm like, "I'm not giving you my account number." He's like, "No, you're not giving it to me. You're verifying it." And I'm like, this is the most despicable, underhanded thing and it's evil. It's absolutely evil. And I needed to make it into a video, and I screwed with the guy for a good 10-12 minutes, trying not to give him any of this information, trying to drag him along. And he kept telling me stuff like, you're the only person that's not doing this. You're the only person that's not willing to do this. And I'm like, you are out of your freaking mind. There's no way. And guys, honest truth, I don't bank with Bank of America. I don't think I ever have banked with Bank of America. It's one of the ones I always tell them, yeah, sure, I have Bank of America. And the fact that he went to the extent of verifying the routing number, which you can easily Google. Matter of fact, what's really funny, my kids, they bank with a credit union. And I remember at one point I was trying to help one of them set up direct deposit. And I went to the bank's website, didn't log into an account, just went to the website. And right there at the very top was the routing number for the bank. It's not a secret hidden number, but they make it seem like they're hiding, that they're helping you. Just ugly and despicable. So please, dear people, if somebody calls and they just want to verify your account numbers, never, ever, ever, ever give it to them. And tell people, because I know not every senior in the world is listening to my videos. Good gosh, I wish they were, but they're not. If you have a senior person, if you know an elderly person, give them a call and say, hey, just be aware, scammers are calling. They're claiming to be from your electric company, from your cable company. And all they want to do is verify your account information, your checking account information. Please warn them. Make as many people as you can be aware. Never, ever, ever give that information out over the phone. So many people get taken advantage of on a regular basis because they fall for this. Whew. End of rant. There we go. All right, we start out the episode with a rant, but my gosh, that's such an important message to tell people. So, all right, let me catch up on the chat real quick. I don't want to lose out on the chat because I know you guys are here and you're talking, and I want to make sure I talk back. But I got that call.
They just want to verify.
They just want to verify. And it was so funny.
You give me all your information, and I'll tell you if your information's correct.
That's right. And he was so willing to give the routing number. Like, listen. And he actually said at one point, I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to verify it for you.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it to you. And I'm like thinking to myself, I just simply Googled it, and I have it right in front of me. I mean, he everybody does it. Why are you not doing it? I mean, just evil, despicable people. All right, let me catch up on this the chat real quick. Let's see. I think I lost. Where was I at? Okay, Penny was the last one I read. Glenn's here. Oh, hey, Glenn, how's it going? Googled 611 East Adams. Do you really live under that viaduct? It's not actually a viaduct, believe it or not. That's the address for the homeless shelter, the main hub homeless shelter downtown here in Jacksonville. And listen, if they get mail for Timothy, or if they get mail for Clark, or they get mail for Herschel, or they get free COVID tests, then more power to them. I feel really bad. You know what's so sad is I've been using that address for a while because one of my subscribers commented, maybe use they were saying use a common address, something that everybody would be aware of. He said, like, somebody has recommended the jail and somebody recommended a homeless shelter. So I started using the homeless, and mainly because I could remember it. And the other day I'm listening to the radio, I'm listening to the news, and they're talking about how the Schulzbacher Center is getting solar panels. I was like, I wonder if I sent a solar panel scammer towards them and they fell for it. I hope not. But I thought that was kind of funny. Hopefully that wasn't me that did that, but it might have been. Anyway, Emmanuel says, yes, it's cold weather. Start this morning. We got lots of rain. Yeah, well, we got some rain, but not a lot. But it was supposed to rain all day, and it only rained in the morning, which meant in the afternoon, the flea market was rather busy, which I ain't gonna complain. Actually, I had my best day so far this year today, hands down. Well, except for the one day that MK came and visited my store. Technically, I count that as an outlier, an aberration. But for a regular day, today was the best day so far this year. So cool. Manuel says, hello, good friend Penny. And Penny says, hey to Manuel. Kat says, good evening, Misfit Corner Scans and all. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining. Manuel says, I watched YouTube videos this morning. That was awesome, Drew. Excellent. Yeah, I've got a lot of good ones coming, so I hope you guys enjoy. Kat says, hi to Manuel, Clark, Penny, and Darlene. Clark says, the sad thing is some senior citizens would fall for this and end up verifying their account numbers. Yes, I know. That's the reason why they continue that scam. Usually when it comes to the electric providers, lately it's been send us a check. Because I've even offered to give them my credit card information and they tell me no, send us a check. But this guy was very adamant about verifying my check information, which if I could reach through the phone and punch somebody, I would. These guys are just so horrible. But take a listen to the call. I mean, you'll see the extent that they go through. And Manuel says, good evening to Kat. Happy Saturday night. Clark says hello to Kat. Manuel says, Drew, I do not have a bank account anymore. Well, maybe that's a good thing. Getting away from a bank account. I always find it strange when they ask if you have a checking or savings account. And I always think to myself, yeah, who doesn't? Everybody's got a checking account, but there are some people that don't need it, don't have one. I mean, my kids have checking account. They've had checking accounts since they were very young, but they don't use checks. They either pay with their debit account, or my daughter, for her rent, she tells me she orders a check and the bank prints it up for her and she picks it up because I guess where she's renting from right now, they require a check, but she doesn't use checks. And I mean, there's a lot of people that
I don't use checks.
Yeah, alternate forms of banking. There's a lot of that out there.
Yeah,
you know.
I pay everything on my credit card and just pay my credit card.
Yeah.
My credit card's through my bank, so I just call call the number.
Well, I have
paid and tell the automated system to pay it.
I have one account that gives me really good bonus points. It's my Best Buy card. And what I'll do is when I get paid, I pay it off, and then I use it to pay for like our car insurance, just the regular monthly stuff that I know I have to pay. And then I get points at the end of the month, and they give me Best Buy gift certificates, and then I go to the store and buy stuff for the store, like toys, Legos, and whatnot. So I mean, everybody's happy. But yeah, it's weird how there's so many alternate ways of banking nowadays. So you don't necessarily need to have a bank account, but
who knows what's going to happen to the bank accounts?
Yeah, that's true too. You never know. We're getting back to the hiding the money under the mattress thing.
It's something people may have to do.
Yep. Let's see. Darlene says, I have Bank of America. My insurance could tell right away. Gotcha. Dave says, hello, Drew and Avery.
Hey,
Drew, when you told that scammer to pay attention, I fell to the floor laughing. That was a good one. Well, sometimes I have to try to keep them on track,
Yeah. Like sometimes they can't keep up with what you're doing to them, and they're just like, oh, because they're so used to the script, and you start throwing them these little curveballs, and they just can't handle it.
I have a video coming up. I'll have to check and see what day it's coming out, but it's hilarious in the fact of not what the video is about or what they said, just the overall timing of everything. Let me give you I'll tell you exactly what it is, guys. You guys know I've been getting dozens and dozens of the ones where they call. They say they're calling from a company and they're calling to offer you free COVID tests. They just need to verify your Medicare information. Now, when they call, they claim to either be from Disease Prevention Center, COVID Prevention Centers. The list is endless, but I get these calls constantly. And one of the ones I get a lot of is ones that claim to be from a company called Alpha Labs. Now, there may actually be an Alpha Labs out there. They're just claiming to be from them. Well, I got a call from a guy, and it was just a few days ago. And we start talking, and he tells me he's from Alpha Labs. And I said, I know I talked to you guys like a week ago. Where are my COVID tests? He said, sir, I've never called you before. I said, well, I know, but somebody from Alpha Labs has. And he goes, no, sir, we only call people once. We don't call them back multiple times. And I was like, really? Really? Well, what I actually did is I went through all my old COVID videos and I clipped out everyone that said, hi, my name is from Alpha Labs. There were 10 of them. I strung them all together at the end of the video where you can actually literally hear all the different people claiming to be from Alpha Labs. And then here's the funny ass thing. That evening, it was around 7 o'clock. I start recording the intro for it where I'm telling you about what the video is about. I literally got a call and I answered it.
From Alpha Labs.
It was somebody claiming to be from Alpha Labs. And I am dying that they're doing this, and I can't wait for you guys to hear the video. It's just hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious in the funny things that was being said. It's hilarious in my point has been proven, and the guy was very adamant, sir, we only call people one time. We don't call them multiple times. And I'm like, you're so full of crap. And I'm so much waiting for somebody from another company to claim the same thing. Like if somebody from Disease Prevention Center says, sir, we only call you one time. We've never called you before. I'll just string a whole bunch of them together. So I'm listening to all the different COVID test calls, and I've literally got 50 of them, maybe. Okay. And I'm literally writing down all the names and who the company, and I'm looking specifically for Alpha Labs. So I'm only paying attention to the ones that have Alpha Labs, but I've got so many I could do that too. I mean, just ridiculous. But I hope you guys enjoy it. And I even made a clip. I even made a short out of it where the guy says, sir, we only call you one time. And then I literally do. Yeah. And so Avery, I have so much damn fun doing this. I can't tell you how much fun I have.
You love it.
If I could make this my day job, it kind of is, but I would make it my full-time day job.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
you know what, man? Triple your subscriber count and you'll probably get there.
Hey, that's what I'm working towards. Like and share. That's right. Oh yeah, everybody, if you get an opportunity,
and comment.
Comment, like, share. What the thumbs up? That's a good thing. Is thumbs up. And if you're not already subscribed, subscribe. I provide daily videos. Plus, I've been doing, I think it's around mid-January, I've been doing 2 videos a day. A video at 10 and then a short at noon. And I'm trying very hard to maintain that. So
You didn't hear me, did you?
You said something about cocaine.
Yeah, you said, I've been doing, I was like, cocaine?
I try, sometimes, Avery, I do try to ignore you.
It's a whole nother meaning to Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, it is. Which, by the way, I saw that movie.
Is it good?
If you've seen the trailer, you've pretty much saw the whole movie.
Oh,
there's a big scene at the end, which you don't see in the trailer, but the majority of the bear's appearance on screen, you see in the trailer.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, but it was still funny. We thought we got.
I had high hopes for that though.
Yeah, well, it's silly, stupid, and it's when it comes on streaming, I'm sure you'll watch it somewhere.
It's that director; she's terrible.
Oh well. Anyway, all right. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. We got more people chiming in. Darlene says hi to Kat. Nigella's here. Hey, Nigella, how's it going? Says good evening. Manuel says good evening. Happy Saturday night to Nigella. Kat says hi. Nigella says, too many COVID Medicare calls. Yes. To the point where that's the majority of what I've been getting lately. So, which I'm not exactly sure how long that one can last. The open enrollment for the healthcare thing is supposedly supposed to end on March 31st. So those are kind of starting to wrap up. But I don't know how long this COVID, how long they can do the COVID one, because they do not stop. They call and call and call and call, and I'm getting to the point there's you get to a point with some of these where you know what it is, what they're doing. So instead of wasting their time, you just start berating them. You start being mean. You start doing crazy stuff. And I'm getting to that point with the COVID calls. You know, I'm getting ready to do the whole thing about being locked in the basement and telling them to be quiet, because if they're too loud, the guy will come and get me. He'll beat me or something. You know,
that's pretty good.
I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start doing that, because I get so
good.
many of these calls.
Shh,
yeah.
Be quiet.
Quiet.
They'll hear you. If they hear you, they'll beat me.
That's right. That's right. I've done that before to them. I've done that before to some of the healthcare ones, and yeah. If you guys look up, there's a video. I think I titled it "The Worst Thing I've Ever Done." Is when I did that one time. There's one out there where I literally was telling the lady, quiet, be quiet, or they'll hear me. And she was like very concerned at the very beginning of the call. She was very concerned, but then she started to realize I was just screwing with her. Because I eventually did say, okay, tell me how I can get low cost health insurance. Tell me, because I need it. And she's like, what? I know I'm bad. All right, let me catch up again. I think I read this. Nigella says hi to Kat. Nigella says, I used a real fake address, but fake street number not existent. Well, I used to use 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue until they started catching on to that. I had somebody say, you don't live at the White House. And I'm like, no.
Oh, you got me.
Yeah, you got me.
Wah, wah.
And then I also used to use, hey guys, look, it's a scam call.
It's a scam call.
Let's see.
Shh.
Let's see. Hello? Oh, no.
Oh.
It's a scam call, but it's not one I'm going to do because, all right, I'll tell you guys a story.
Automated.
Yes, it's an automated one. What it is, my wife has been looking for plane tickets to Aruba, because we're supposedly going on a trip in August to Aruba. And some site that she has gone to got her name and information from Google. They got guys. It happens. The search engines sell your information, and it's nothing you can do about it. And they've been calling us for the past 2 days straight. And the message just says, "Hi, this message is for Jennifer. We've been trying to reach you. Call us back at this number." And it's an 888 number. And that's it. I don't actually. There's not a person there or anything. But last night, Avery, they called at 10:30 last night.
Oh.
And I'm like, what the? Because I had already laid down. I was already exhausted. It was after the show, and I went and laid down, and my phone starts ringing. I'm like,
who tries to rip you off at that hour?
Yeah, I know. So either she's going to have to call him back. And, yeah, exactly. Either she's going to have to call him back and tell him to stop calling her. But when I asked her, I said, did you give your name and number to anybody? She goes, no, absolutely not. I said, yeah, well, thank you, Google.
No, she's filled out a form somewhere on a shady site that
doesn't
remember.
Yeah, but now that's maybe the fourth call in the last 2 days that we've gotten. So, and I'm sure they'll keep calling. But yes, everybody. You want to know how I get on the list of scammers?
Your wife.
My woman. That's right. My woman gladly sets me up for him.
Women can't live with them, can't properly dispose of the body.
Avery, I have to tell you. Avery, I have to tell you this. I got a call from someone who actually sounded legit. But she was saying that we filled out a form and requested, and I'm like, there's no freaking way. There's no way my wife would have done that. And because it was something about Medicare or something. And I'm like, there's no way my wife is going to do that. And I was berating this lady to the point where I'm like, you're so full of crap. But number one, she had American accent. She didn't sound foreign. Number two, she knew her name. But it's like, no, there's no way my wife is doing that. As soon as I hung up the phone, I went out in the living room and I said, honey, have you been doing searching at a Medicare website? And she said, yeah, I just filled out a form. And I'm like, ah! And now they call every day. Every day.
Ugh. Oof.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's hard to tell the real ones from the scammers, and sometimes the real ones can also be scammers. But they get your information and they call constantly. So
they're obsessed with you.
I will try to be nice to them. Actually, the last couple times they called, I went to go answer the phone and they already disconnected. So what they're doing is they're calling my wife's number, and after 5 seconds or whatever, it's getting forwarded to me, and then they hang up before I answer. So I hate these people. I wish I could take the computer away from my wife and don't tell her I said that.
You're gonna have to ground your wife.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. You know her. You've known her as long as I have. It's never gonna work. All right, let me catch up on the chat. Darlene says we only get a couple scam calls a day at the most. We stopped answering. Maybe that cuts on the calls. Well, I know I get a lot of those calls where you answer it and nobody's there and then it just disconnects. And a lot of times I think they're just testing the number to see if people will pick up. And I try really hard to answer all my calls. So I probably keep the callers calling by answering the phone. I think if you stop answering the phone, that might work, but I don't think that's ever going to keep the calls from coming, because I've gotten a lot of calls where I know they're on auto dialers, that they're just dialing numbers, because my wife's number and my number are 1 digit different. Hers ends in 4, mine ends in 5. The rest of the number is exactly the same. And I'll get a call being forwarded from a number, and then it'll disconnect, and then I'll get the same exact call on my line from the same number, from the same scam number. So I know they're just going through numbers.
Yeah.
So, and you're not going to stop that. You can not answer, and maybe that'll stop, but I think they just keep trying until somebody picks up the phone. I mean, that's literally their business model. Call until somebody picks up the phone, and then once they pick up the phone, if they fall for it, you keep calling them. So it's a horrible business model, but it's one they use.
It must be working at least enough.
Yeah. All right, let me see what else is going on here. Andrew's here. Hey, Andrew. He says, do you know other scam busters like Scam Baiter or Trilogy Media? Yes, I've talked to Tagao and CJ Scams and Betty Bam Bam. I know them. I've actually been on their live stream before, and I haven't actually. I don't think I've reached out or spoken to any of the other ones. I know they exist. I know they know that I exist. We all do our thing. I'm a little bit different in the fact that all my calls are inbound calls or calls coming to me, where a lot of them call scam centers or known scam centers and do call flooding and stuff like that. So not exactly the same, but we all have in our hearts, we're all doing the same thing, wasting their time. But yeah, absolutely. Manuel says, Drew, watch your video, see your daughter on the YouTube at office. Didn't see Monster Betsy. I've been keeping the door closed a lot, trying to keep them out of my office, because they will literally come in and walk across my keyboard. I've got a video coming up where Betsy was just climbing on the back of my chair. When they're kittens, they're cute. When they become cats, they're pains in the asses. She's getting into that pains in the ass stage, which we all knew would happen. There'll be videos coming with her in it again, because she's still around and she's a good girl. But I try really hard to keep them out of my office while I'm working, while I'm taking calls. So yes, there is one video where my daughter came in to say hello, and she really wasn't really on camera other than she was just behind me. But yep, she was here and she's good. She's doing good. Nigella says, other baiters, I don't know who that is. Moderal Deo. I'm not familiar with that name. Oh, wait a minute, hold a second. Modder Paul. Oh, okay. I think I know who she's talking about. Bill says, hey, Bill, how's it going? Hand pink waving, face blue smiling. Let's go. That's right. Darlene says, I use checks at times. I am a payee of my youngest son's disability account. No credit card for that. Yep, there are a lot of places that don't take credit cards or payments over the phone. I have 2 insurance bills. Actually, I write 3 checks a month, and that's it. 3 checks a month. 2 of them are to the same company who do not have the ability for me to pay on the website. I have to pay via check. And then the third is an old medical bill that's been in collections, where I pay them $50 a month until that sucker's paid off. Matter of fact, it's from the time I was in the hospital. I pay them $50 a month, and sometime in the next year and a half or so, I'll pay it off. So
I did that with one of the times I went to the emergency room with one of those kidney stones.
Yeah.
And they even sent it to collections, and I wouldn't pay the collections agency. I sent it to them, and then they had to give the money to the collection agency. And I wouldn't give that collection agency a dime.
Well, I know that this was a valid bill. This was a valid bill because I had not had any medical stuff up until that point, so I had not met any deductibles. And I mean, it was only about, I think it was a little more than $3,000. And I told the lady, I will send you as much as possible every month. And she's like, okay. No, every now and then, if a check's running late, she'll call and just make sure I'm still alive, make sure I'm still paying. And of course I do. But $50 a month, I put it in the mail, and they're happy with it. But yeah, that's they don't do it over the phone or anything like that. So it's a check. Oh, and my accountant takes checks. Yes, I write a check to my accountant every quarter. That's it. That's all I do. All I pay checks for. I literally have checks just to pay those bills, those few bills. But oh well. Let's see here. Manuel says, I watched Cora's Anther Corner and Dio plus Modder Paul on YouTube or Twitch. All right, I'll have to check out Modder Paul. I've heard that name a couple of times, but I wasn't familiar with it. So you guys know me. I'm so blah, idiot. Oh, well. Nigella says, fake Alpha Labs from Islamabad, capital of Pakistan. Really? Okay, I'll have to keep that in mind next time I talk to him, because you know what? They're going to call back. Manuel says, good evening to Bill. Happy Saturday night. Bill says hi to Manuel. Darlene says, we get the same phone numbers often. See, I get different numbers all the time. I get the same type of calls and the same companies calling, or the same script that they use, but not the same numbers. The numbers are always very different. So they're always spoofing somebody's number. I actually had a call. I try to remember if I made it into a video yet or not. I think I did. I think it's one of the ones that's scheduled, where I'm going through the call, going through the motions, and I asked the guy, I said, I'm just curious, why does my phone identify the number you're calling from as the local school board or something? And he quickly hung up. But it came up as public school something or other. It's like, you guys are so despicable. Glenn says, I got a student loan call that showed caller ID of City of Golden Park Cemetery and Forever and Forestry Division. Oh, wow. Can you say spoofed? It was their actual number. Yep, I can believe it. That's so sad. Manuel says, Drew, last week, have some comic show in Lafayette, Louisiana. Oh, yeah? I don't know of any major show out there in that area, but I'm sure they have smaller shows. My wife and I had always planned, once I retired, that we would buy an RV and we would travel the United States going from convention to convention. And honestly, I think I would love to do that, but I don't want to drive all the time anymore. I have a hard enough time seeing where I'm driving just down the street, you know? But that was a plan of ours at one point, and I would have loved to have gone to Louisiana and checked it out. Maybe one of these days I'll check it out. Bill says, I get a lot of PayPal scams and emails. I've gotten maybe one call from that claiming to be from PayPal so far. And it's crazy because I use PayPal all the time, but I've never gotten more than that one call. So yeah, eventually they'll probably try it on me. Bill says, have you thought about getting on Twitter or Discord? Actually, I'm on Twitter Twitch or Discord. I don't think I've ever had a Twitch account. I do have a Discord account, and I'm barely over there, guys. I'm so sorry. Betty Bam Bam.
You have a Twitch account.
I do?
You just didn't set up the channel. But you have a Twitch account because you would be in my
I watch
chat.
I watch some of your videos, some of your live streams. Yes. So I must have a Twitch account.
You have an account.
Yeah, I've just never set up one. I have a Rumble account too. Yeah, and I started thinking about posting videos on Rumble.
At least as
around to doing it.
Especially at least to have a backup.
Yeah, exactly. And I just haven't gotten around to doing it. One of these days, I'll get around to some of these things. Hey, you know what I actually did today, Avery? I actually set up my camera in the store and actually did some sketching. And actually recorded me drawing and doing some sketching. I still haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do with the videos yet. I think I might make them into shorts, just because I was playing around with the camera and all, and I just did a quick hero sketch and a quick prom sketch. But I'm going to start doing more of that in the store when it's slow. And I set up the camera in order to actually record myself. What's actually so bad is I have a fluorescent light that I had on the desk as I did the first drawing, and then when I looked at the video, the fluorescent light whited out, or the glare was right on the character's face, so you could barely see what I was drawing when I was drawing his face. And I'm like, that just screws up the whole video. You got to have good lighting when you do stuff like that, and I did not set it up properly the first time. So well, I will try better, but it's something I really need to start getting back into on regular. My Misfit Corner Comics channel doesn't have anything happening on it, and I tell people about it all the time, so I need to start getting stuff over there. So if you guys aren't subscribed to that channel, go take a look and subscribe, because I'm going to start putting more stuff up there. I promise.
Be butter, Andrew.
I'm going to try to be butter. I'm going to try. Clark says, I had a recent scam call where they asked me if I was a senior citizen. Then they asked me if I had a memory problems during the call. He would keep changing his name to make me think I couldn't remember. That's funny. I actually had a scammer just recently introduce himself as James. And then he starts going into it. And then he says, your name's James, right? And I'm like, sure, yeah, my name's James. And then I said to him, by the way, and this was into the call, I said, by the way, what's your name? He goes, my name's Chris. I said, oh, really? Chris? So I listened to the video again, and he does say at the beginning of the video, hi, my name's James. He lost track of who he was.
And thought you were him.
They don't hire brain surgeons to do scams.
No.
They do not hire people with high intellect. They don't hire people who could get a job doing almost anything else.
Yeah.
These are some of the most uneducated. If there's scammers out there listening to this right now, I'm so sorry, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. You know?
The next call you get will be from the super scammer.
Well, what's actually funny is some of the ones that I've talked to that are, it's difficult for me to say these, to make these words come out of my mouth, but the most professional scammers that I've talked to are usually the ones that are doing like the Social Security Administration or the Customs and Border Patrol. They're usually much more adept at doing the scam, whereas some of these Medicare scammers or final expense scammers, this is like their first day on the job. They're just. I actually have a call. I don't remember if I made it into a video yet, where I literally said to the guy, because he kept screwing up the script so bad, I said, "Do you want to just start from the beginning and start all over again?" And he says, "Oh yes, please." And he literally did. "Hi, my name," started all over again, and I'm just rolling my eyes going, I deserve a better level of scammer out there. With all the scams I get, I deserve somebody who could actually convince me to give them my credit card information.
Yeah.
But the ones that you can tell have been doing it a long time, they know what they're doing, they're confident of what they're doing. When they lie to you and tell you they're calling you from their cable provider or whatever, you kind of believe it. There's not a lot of those out there, but they are out there. And despicable people. These are the ones that they're not doing this because they need to make money. They're doing it because they are making money. They're doing it because they enjoy ripping people off and stealing from them. A lot of times I'll talk to somebody where they sound like they're desperate. You can tell it in their voice that they really need a job. They really need money. And then there's people who do it because they're just despicable and evil. So, all right, another little rant there. Sorry. Let's get back on track. Furrow 99 says, "Crazy. I don't want to see Misfit crazy." Hey, I'm good crazy. Don't worry, guys. I'm good crazy. Darlene says, "I have won so many prizes in emails. Why haven't they sent them to me?" That's a good question. When you get them on the phone, ask them that. John's here. Hey, John. Says, "I'm back. Got a lot of scam calls this week. I told them my birthday was 3/155 and I live at 611 East Adams." Perfect. Good job, John. I think somebody commented on one of my videos that they asked them if they knew Timothy, and they were like, "No." That's funny. Manuel says, "Good evening, John Walker. Good evening, Saturday night." Darlene says, "I had about 20 calls from so-called Social Security office. They were from a town I lived in, which I know doesn't have an office in." I'm pretty sure Jacksonville's big enough to have a Social Security office. As a matter of fact, I know they do because I've been there. I've been there recently. I don't think they have time to call people, though, to be honest with you. They don't have a call center, Just like Amazon doesn't have time to call every single person that orders an iPhone. Doesn't happen, Bill says, "I have to stop using these new emojis. They just show up to you as some weird string." Well, it's fine. Betty loves putting them in there just to drive me crazy because she knows I'll read them. Oh, Deb's here. Hey, Deb, how's it going? Says, "Have you heard about check washing? Mail carriers robbing, keys taken?" No. I'm sure there's all types of fraud out there. Check washing. That sounds familiar, though. Wasn't that something they talked about in that movie, Catch Me If You Can? They did check washing in that. That's one of the fraud things they did. So
maybe
it doesn't sound good.
I know check washing's old.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I've heard it.
Every so often they have to reinvent how they do it.
Yeah.
Because they change things. Sort of like how the counterfeiters have to catch up with what they change about money.
Yep. Yeah, honestly, I know checks is a way to pay bills. I can't remember the last time I saw somebody like paying checks at the grocery store or Walmart. I mean, I'm sure it does still happen, but you don't see it very often. I'm sure it does, but oh well. Bill says Modder Paul is a top scam baiter. Okay, excellent. I'll look into it. Diane's here. Hey, Diane, or Blaine. Sorry, my vision's killing me tonight. Blaine says scammer payback. Pleasant Green, Carl Rock, and Trilogy Media are legendary scam baiters. Check them out. Absolutely. Thank you for let's see who on that list. I know Trilogy Media. I've heard of them. Scammer Payback, I've heard of them. Pleasant Green, that one doesn't sound familiar. And Carl Rock, I'm not familiar with. So more of them to check out. Excellent, 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 guys. I appreciate the help. Manuel says, I still get emails from scammers from PayPal, Cash App, and Wells Fargo. Like I said, I don't normally check the emails, but I have gotten calls from people claiming to be from Cash App. And it was before I even had a Cash App account, which I always find funny. But now I have one. I think my sister had me get one because when we were doing the planning for my parents' wedding anniversary, she asked me to pay her through Cash App, and that was fine. Whatever. So I have a Cash App now because of it, but oh well. Technology, people, you gotta get up with the times. Oh, dude, I gotta tell you this really funny story. So 3 young ladies come into my store today, and I think at the time I maybe had one other person in the store with me that was talking to me about something. And these 3 girls, they go over and they go down the comic book aisle, and I have cameras all throughout my store, and I have like 4 aisles, and I have cameras set on all 4. So if I'm sitting behind my computer at the front of the store, I can see what people are doing down the aisles. And I have the camera on, and I'm not really paying attention to it. I'm talking to the person. And then I look down at my camera, and these 3 girls are literally taking selfies down the comic book aisle. They're using the comics and the movie posters and all as backdrops for their selfies. And I'm like watching them go on the video, and I'm like, do they realize? No, they don't realize that I'm watching them. And at one point they put their phones on like a bookshelf, and they're like walking past it and I'm like, oh my gosh, these people.
They're probably making TikToks.
Probably. We're making TikToks. We're at a comic book store. I mean,
yeah.
They didn't buy anything.
Fake nerds,
they didn't buy anything, but
of course.
I'm just, and I'm thinking to myself, and then one of my regulars came in, and after they left, I guess he had gone down or he looked down the aisle because he was looking at something. He saw what they were doing, and he left the aisle and went to another area. And when they left, I said, did you see them making videos and selfies? He said, yeah, he just started rolling his eyes. I'm like, did they think I didn't know what they were doing? I guess so. I mean, I just thought it was hilarious. But kids nowadays. So
kids.
Yeah. Deb says, I'm a huge Kitboga fan. Absolutely. Kitboga is probably one of the most well-known. I've actually had, when I've revealed to a scammer one time that I was recording the calls for my YouTube channel, they asked me if I knew Kitboga, and I was like, I'm aware of him. I mean, I don't know him personally. And the scammer was very proud to tell me that he was on one of Kitboga's videos. And I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Way to have a goal in life, you know? Yeah, I know.
Like, that's not a good thing. It means you're a scumbag.
It means you've been doing this way too long to recognize yourself on a Kitboga video. Yeah. Rosemary says, hey, Rosemary. Says, hi, just happened to see you here. Well, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. Rosemary says, hi to all in the chat. Manuel says, good evening to Rosemary. Hug Saturday night. Happy Saturday night, guys. My eyes are killing me today. Blaine says to Deb, Kitboga is awesome as well. Yep. Kitboga is one of those guys that what's a good way to say it? They're ready for him. They have the fake stuff set up. They have the fake virtual network set up so that if they give them access to their computer, nothing is happening. They know what's happening. I'm not that smart. I'm not going to give anybody access to my computer because I don't know how to protect it. I'm not going to give them access to my phone. I'm not going to give them access to any of that stuff. But they're more prepared to entrap them and to get them to do stuff and be able to follow along. I wish I was that smart, but I'm not. I wish I had the ability to hack into their closed circuit TV cameras and to their computer cameras and actually show them pictures of themselves. That would be fantastic. But I leave that to the experts. Me, I'm just wasting their time, screwing with them, and hopefully informing and entertaining you guys at the same time. So, like I said, when it comes to scam baiting, there's a lot of people out there doing it. A lot of people just wasting their time, which is fantastic. There's a lot of people out there that are fighting back, which is fantastic because, you know, the government's not going to do nothing about it. You're the people that are supposed to help protect you from these insidious, evil people don't. You know, I mean, they created the no call list. I mean, that was great. How often do they completely and utterly ignore that? You know what I mean? You guys know that better than I do because I'm on that list. I've been on that list and I still get calls every day, and I bet so do you. That's 3 rants in one video, man. One live stream. Let me catch back up on
You're
that.
on a roll.
I'm on a roll. Rosemary says to Manuel, hello, nice to see you. Darlene says, I do landscaping and Victoria era sketching and paintings. Oh, wow. I am very bad when it comes to landscapes, and I'm horrible when it comes to painting. I stick with black and white, but I get a lot. I do a lot of photo references. Google helps me with that, but I like drawing, and I like challenging myself with something new, and sometimes I totally suck at it. So if you can do that kind of stuff, that is absolutely fantastic. Darlene, that's incredibly cool. Manuel says, Eugene. Wyona's here. Hey, says, hey, Team Drew. Welcome to the show. Wyona is another one of those ones that regularly comments on my videos, and I do super appreciate it. Manuel's the same. A lot of you guys, I appreciate everything you guys do. You guys don't realize the joy that it gives a lot of YouTubers when you interact with us. When you guys join a live stream and you comment, when you comment on a video, when you thumbs up a video. I mean, you don't know how much it really means to us, but it's wonderful. We do really appreciate it, and I thank everybody out there who does. So yes. Let's see. Craft Time with Kristen says, is this live? Yes, absolutely, we are live. We do a live stream 8 o'clock Saturday night. We usually do it for about an hour or so. Sometimes we go a little longer depending on how many comments I need to read, because I do try to read every single one of them. I try to keep on top of it. We throw it out there if anybody's doing something or want to talk about something or has a question, and it doesn't necessarily have to be about scams. We've talked about everything from movies to pew pews to. We try to stay away from politics and religion, but sometimes that comes up. But yeah, we try to stay away from it. If you guys ask a political question, we might answer it. We might just ha and keep going. But feel free to send any question you like. Manuel says, Drew, I watch your videos. Say your name's Eugene. I do say Eugene from time to time. Honestly, Eugene, when I tell them my name's Eugene, it's usually because I'm in a playful mood. Because in my mind, Eugene is very charismatic. He's very outgoing. He's nothing like me. He's absolutely nothing like me. And I like playing him as a character. When it's just a regular call, it's Timothy. From time to time, they'll say, is this Mr. Carl Walters? Yes, I'm Carl. Haven't gotten a lot of Herschel calls in a while, but I still do get Herschel calls. But he's also a top one of mine. But yeah, absolutely. If I say it's Eugene Williams, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna play around with him. You know, I'm gonna enjoy the call. At least I try to. So, Glenn says the scammers are just hoping that we are more stupid than they are. Sorry, my IQ is higher than the value of pi. Avery, I put out a video where the title was, "These scammers are as dumb as squirrels, but it's that would be saying that these scammers are as dumb as squirrels is an insult to squirrels. And somebody commented, quit insulting squirrels.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I could honestly, that was the only thing I could think of to say. They're just dumb, just really dumb. Darlene says Eugene was my father's name. Actually, it's my my brother-in-law's middle name, which I had no idea. I forget what we were doing. We were talking about something, and it was revealed to me that his middle name was Eugene. My sister told me that. We were doing something and she told me that. And I immediately texted her, your middle name's Eugene? And he's like, yes. It was like his grandfather or something. And I'm like, dude, I love it. I'm using that name. No insult. The name's awesome. Eugene's a good name. So Betty's here. Hey, Betty, how's it going? Betty says hi. Manuel says, good evening to Betty. Happy Saturday night. Rosemary says, any PCH callers? I've only ever gotten the one so far. So I'm still looking forward to, because I know a lot of people talk about the Publishers Clearinghouse scammers. I know they're out there. I just haven't really gotten any calls from them. So Darlene says, yes to Kristen. Deb says, not Jacksonville, it's Jacksonville, sir. Yes, it is. It's Jacksonville. Yep. I love it when they screw that up. It's so much fun. Tim's here. Hey, Tim. Tim says, in my younger days, we had door-to-door salesmen. They too could sell an Eskimo ice and make them think it was worth the price. I actually had a friend of mine, probably another one of my very best friends, whose name is Yuli. He worked at a Kinney shoe store, and he could sell shoes to anybody. He could sell a 6-inch pump to Avery. He was that good of a salesman. He was. Woo! And oh yes, he could sell you anything. And I was always impressed. If he probably could have been, in the old days, a door-to-door salesman and be very successful at it. He was always a very good salesman. Thank God he went into the military. Thank God he went into IT, because he uses those skills in those professions now. But yeah, it'd be horrible if he was still selling shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he went into the reserves. And I tell him, had my wife not said yes when I asked her to marry me, I probably would have followed along with him and went into the reserves as well. And I'd probably would have killed myself at some point and been dead a long time ago.
Not in the reserves. You'd been fine.
Yeah, well, he turned it into a great career. He got an education and went on, and he works in IT right now.
Reserves are fine.
He's a hell of a lot smarter than me. So, but that's my good dude. My good dude Yuli. I send a hey shout out to him. Let's see what else is going on here. Betty says, hey, hello to Manuel. Says, happy Saturday night. I'm sorry I'm late. It's okay, Betty. We're just glad you're able to join. Winona says, check washing streams off the ink written on it. Check washing steams off the ink written on it. Oh, that's despicable. I think in the have you ever seen it's the Steven Spielberg movie with Leonardo DiCaprio called Catch Me If You Can, and I think they mentioned check washing in there. So that's been around. That practice, quote unquote practice, has been around for a long time. Bill says, how much do stamps cost these days? I think 50 cents is a forever stamp is 50 cents. Does that sound about right?
I don't know. I haven't bought stamps in so long.
Yeah, I think 50 cents. Maybe. Don't quote me on that, but I think so. Manuel says, it's okay, Betty Bam Bam. It's all right. Deb says, Winona Brown, exactly. Kat says, a big thumbs up for Dio and Pleasant Green. Okay. Rosemary says, you are a legend. Aw. I don't think she's talking to me, though. I don't think so. Betty says, Manuel, what did I miss? Not much. Just me going on rants, little mini rants. Kat says, hi to Betty. Face red heart shape. Blaine says, used to be able to use nail polish remover to wash away the ink off a check so it becomes a blank check as long as you don't wash the signature off. Blaine. In your young days, you were devious. I don't think I've ever tried anything like that. I think the only thing I've ever attempted to do, and I used a check to do it, was to copy my mother's signature when I was forging notes when I was in high school. So, because they would get return checks, the bank would send them back the checks after they've been cashed. So I had something that had their signature on it that I could easily. They always kept it. They always kept the checks in a drawer. My dad put them in there until he went through them and validated them, then disposed of them, shredded them, or whatever. But I always knew where they were, and they always had their signatures on them. So,
jeez.
Yep. Betty says hi to Kat. Manuel says, yes, you were missed, Betty Bam Bam, on Saturday night. Deb says, Blaine Morgan, that too, and rewrite the checks for thousands of dollars. Yes, that's an evil thing. Betty says hi to Deb, hand pink waving. Let's see. Deb says to Betty Bam Bam, love your last video. Fantastic. Winona says, maybe the girls were documenting that they were at your store on their pages. Maybe. But they didn't say anything to me. They didn't say hi or anything. And I mean, they were really cute. I mean, I have to admit, they were really cute girls. I'm glad they came in. I'm glad they looked around. I would have preferred them buy something. But if they're going to promote my store, all for it. That's the way to do it. Betty says to Deb, thank you so much. Darlene says Pleasant Green uses the name Bendover. Okay. Oh, Betty, you didn't have to. Betty sent me a super sticker. Thank you, Betty. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. TWD2112 says, hold on a second. I'm going to read this properly. How is your first and last name pronounced? You say it so quickly in your introductions. Well, actually, all I ever say is this is the artist known as Andrew. My last name is weird. I don't know if I necessarily need to give it out here, but it's Czechoslovakian in origin. So the way it's written and the way it's pronounced is not necessarily, when you read it, that's not how it's pronounced. But actually, I had somebody say that their daughter thought my name was really weird. But when I say this is the artist known as Andrew Speaking, and thought my name was Andrew Speaking. Hey, that could be it. Rosemary says, you certainly entertain us, so please keep it up. Okay, absolutely. That's what I'll do. Bill says, you need to use a virtual machine to be an expert scam baiter. Yes. Michael's here. Hey, Michael. The do not call list worked for a while until the scammers came up with a workaround, kind of like spy versus spy. Yeah, I think a lot of those foreign call centers, like India and Pakistan, those call centers don't care at all about the calls, about the do not call list. It's sometimes the companies they're calling for do, because I'll be on a call where they call and say, hey, we're going to transfer you to a licensed agent, and they'll try multiple times. And the agents that they're calling, because they use my number as the calling number, and they'll know and they'll recognize the fact that I'm on the do not call list, and they won't accept the call. So they have a hard time getting me over to an agent because of that fact. And they know what they're doing. They know they're breaking the rules, and they don't care. The U.S. government's not going to do anything about them. Number one, they have no idea where the call centers actually are. There's no company name. I mean, I'm sure they get paid somehow. And I've berated some agents before about the fact using, these call centers to call people to get around the do not call list. And they know what they're doing, and they're despicable, So, all right, let me see here. Betty says hi to Bill, hand pink waving. Deb says the PCS scammers are very slick. Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for them. The PCH, the Publishers Clearinghouse scammers are the worst. Fushy, poop shaped, Fushi. Wait, hold on a second. Faced, fuchsia, poop shape. Just after romance scammers. Fuchsia. Oh, fuchsia. Oh, it's a color. I don't think I've ever seen that word before in my life. Fuchsia? Fuchsia pooped shape. Oh, wow. That's a new one for me. LA's here, says hi from East Los Angeles. Well, welcome. Welcome to the show. Betty says it's check washing money laundering. Yes, I believe it's a form. Needless to say, it's fraud, no matter what it is. Using somebody's check to do that. But I'm sure that's something that could be considered money laundering. Or it's probably done to launder money.
It's a fuchsia.
Hey, Hooked on the Classics is here. Hey, how's it going? Says hi, Andrew, in the chat. Welcome.
Hello.
Fantastic. Rosemary says, I was talking about you, Drew. Oh. You guys know I can't take
that. You're the fuchsia poop face?
Yeah, I'm the fuchsia poop face. No, she says I'm a legend. I'm a legend.
Oh, a legendary fuchsia poop face?
Deb says stamps are 63 cents. Really?
Really?
Wow. I haven't bought stamps in a while. I've got a bunch of stamps in my wallet that I bought the last time I went to the last time
I bought stamps, they were like 35 cents.
That was a long time ago. That was a long time ago.
For forever stamps. Hey, I think I still have some, so they're still good.
There you go.
For forever stamps. Money.
Yeah. Rosemary says, just keep on doing what you're doing because you do it so well. Oh, thank you. Thank you. See, I'm going to get a big head now. My head's going to explode. That's okay. Betty says, first name Andrew, last name AKA. Yes, there you go. There you go. Guys, it's out there. I don't hide it. It's out there, but it's one of those really weird ones. I know I probably told you guys a story before, but I have such a difficult last name that when we were in high school, there was a time when they were calling. We had a small enough senior class that they could literally come on the intercom and just call people out of class a few at a time. And there was something going on. It was either registering for like the SATs or something where they were calling people out of class one at a time or in groups of like 5 or 6. And the person came over the intercom and said, Tim Johnson, please report to the office. Ashley Scott, please report to the office. Andrew? And there was a long pause after they said my first name. And instead of even trying to say my last name, they just skipped it and went on to the next person. And a matter of fact, we were in first period sculpture class. Yeah. And Mr. Hatcher said, Andrew, that's you, go. Because he knew. And I was very lucky. When I graduated, they had 2 teachers that would stand up and call out the student's name. And my science teacher, Mr. Lip, specifically had me rearrange where I was at in order for him to be the one to say my name, because the other person really didn't know me and couldn't say the name. And he's like, I know this kid, I'll do it. So he switched me for the person next to me in order for him to be the one to call out my name. So
nice.
Yeah, it was very nice of him. I appreciate it. You know what's so funny? He was one of the 2 teachers that Ayla had when she went to Douglas Anderson that had me as well. Him and
Miss Lynch.
Miss Lynch. Yeah. They were still around. They were still around teaching. Yeah. So they kind of saw the name and were like, this is going to be trouble. And she wasn't. She never was. No. She was a good girl. But yeah, they knew.
They were just like, remember your dad.
Yep, remember your dad. And I always told Ayla, I always said, I am so sorry. you're gonna actually, I don't know if I may have told you this before, but Miss Lynch gave the absolute perfect description of my daughter. She one time was describing Ayla to another person. I don't know if it was a teacher or a student. I think it was a teacher because they knew me and they knew Jennifer, and Miss Lynch described Ayla as the perfect melding of her mother and father, but with great hair. And my daughter, she always thought that was a fantastic description. She is the perfect melding of her mother and her mother and father, but with great hair. So she has that going for her. All right, let me catch up on the chat because we're already over our hour. Oh, geez, we're really over. Sorry, guys. I hate to keep you here so long, but we were having a good time. Manuel says, watched your videos. Someone tells, excuse me. Oh my gosh, I got the burps. This is utterly an unprofessional stream. I'm so sorry.
Better outside than in.
Manuel says, I watch videos. Someone telling scammers used company give phones numbers, so call people. Yeah, I would be careful about that. Betty says, Drew, reading my emojis. Yes, I do. Bill says, I should have bought 1,000 Forever stamps when they first came out. Then I could start scalping them. I always thought there was some TV program I saw where the prison people were using stamps as money. You know, I'm pretty sure it happens, but yeah. Manuel says, and they get paid for the scammed people that make money. The money used. Yes. Winona says, check washing is felony theft because it was taken from the mailbox. Oh boy. Nigella says, I'm back. Well, welcome back. Bill says, Betty, a late hello. Betty says hello to Nigella. And Nigella says hello to Betty. Hooked on the Classic says, good, thanks. I have a busy week ahead. I have to drive 300 miles in a 50-year-old car for a 4-day classic car show. Oh, wow. That sounds awesome. I mean, driving 300 miles in an old car doesn't sound awesome, but going to a car show, classic car show, that sounds fantastic. Very cool. Betty says to Bill, never too late for a warm greeting. Aw, she's so nice. Darlene says, I saved my Christmas stamps till December. I have not sent out Christmas cards in a couple of years simply because of the cost of stamps. That's just crazy. If I can't hand it to you, you're not getting You're not getting
one.
Yeah.
I don't like anybody enough to spend 50 cents to say Merry Christmas.
My wife, whenever it's somebody's birthday, she's like, oh, I've got a card. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not spending money on a card. I will give you money for your birthday. I'm not putting it in a card. I'm not buying a card.
I'll send you a text.
That's so nice of you. That's so sweet of you.
A little Facebook DM.
Oh, jeez. Hooked on the Classic says, I have had at least 3 scam calls this week claiming to be from my phone network. They speak so fast and have no idea who I am. Yep. Betty says hi to Hooked on Classics. Betty says laugh out loud because she knows I love it. MK Kronos is here. Hey, MK, welcome. Lurk traveling back home. Thanks for the entertainment, guys. Arrived, so back to work for me. One thing, if you string my "Hi, my name is" for the scammers, please do it to the tune of "My Name Is" by Eminem. I'll have to see about that. I'll have to see what I can do. I think I've already created the video. It's already ready to go, but that's a fantastic idea.
What's up, MK?
Yeah, welcome to the show. Don't work too hard. Betty says hi to MK. Bill says, I am subscribed to many scam baiters, and you are included as one of my best. Fantastic. Thank you so much. And Hooked on the Classic says, call me Simone. That's my name. Oh, okay. Excellent. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining once again. I had a fantastic time. Thank you always to Avery for joining and being my Ed McMahon. He helps me greatly in the fact that, as you guys can tell, I literally talk nonstop for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yes.
He lets me take a break every now and then, and I do appreciate that. Matter of fact, I have water here with me, and I didn't take a sip once during this entire live stream.
I don't think you've stopped talking.
I didn't stop talking. Now I'm ready to go to bed. I'm tired. But thank you guys so much.
Sleepy. I talk
I'm
too
sleepy. I
much.
talk too much. Yeah. And I literally laid down before the show and for about 45 minutes, and I was like, do I want to get up? Yes, I got to get up. I got to do this. I got to do this. This is so much fun. And I appreciate everybody out there. So yes, I need to now. I need to crash very soon. Everybody have a wonderful, fantastic weekend, and we'll see you throughout the week.
Bye,
Check it
guys.
out. More videos coming. Oh, and I forgot, if you get calls like the ones I get, remember, either hang up on them or screw with them like I do. Matter of fact, if you screw with them like I do, make it into videos and post it on YouTube because we would love to see it. So screw with them and share. Screw and share. That's our new motto. I should have ended it 2 minutes ago. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
For anybody still out there, forgive me. I'm tired. Have a great weekend, everybody.